Okay. Hi, Foren. So today we are going to do the solutions for the first part of 2016 paper 1. So let's move on to page number 3 where we start question number 1. This part says express 38.8 okay, 38.8 percentage as a fraction in its lowest form. So for this, of course, you must know that percentage is always over 100, right? So 38.8% is given by 38.8 over 100. Now you need to express this as a fraction in its lowest form. If you use your calculator and you key this in, you should be able to get it, not a problem. So 97 over 250 will be your answer. So remember to always write the answer here, okay, as a for your answer mark. The next one, 5, there's a mixed fraction here. Express this as a decimal. Okay, so once again, if you actually just key it into your calculator, you should be able to get 5.090909. Okay, and they want only 4 significant figures. So significant figures, I start from the first non-zero number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I must stop here. So I must look at the next number. If it's 5 and above, I plus 1 here. So it will be 5.091 for SF. So you can write down here 5.091 for SF. Okay, so this is it. Question number 2 says use the cards below to answer the following questions. Okay, now there is all these numbers here and they're asking you write down which one is a prime number. Now prime number, you should know a basic list, which is 2, 3, 5, 7, and then you move on. So if I look here, I start with, there is a 7 here. So 7 is the only prime number here. Prime numbers are numbers that can only be divided by 1 or itself. Like 9 here, not a prime number. All of the others are not a prime number. Okay, write down a number which is both a perfect square as well as a perfect cube. So what are the perfect square? We know 1 square is a perfect square, which is 1. 2 square is a perfect square, 4. 3 square is 9, and so on, isn't it? And then what are the perfect cubes that you know of? 1 cube is going to be 1. So 1 is a perfect cube. 2 cube is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 3 cube is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So these are all the perfect cubes. Okay, these are perfect cubes and these are perfect square. So if you notice, you will observe that 1 is a number that is there in perfect cube as well as perfect square. Right? So the answer is 1. 4 is a perfect square, as you can see here. 9 is a perfect square, but these are not perfect cubes. Only 1, 8, 27, these are perfect cubes. So the answer is 1. Okay, write down an irrational number. What are irrational numbers? Irrational numbers are, I should be able to, simple way to say, right? It should be able to express it as a fraction. So for example, 1 can be expressed as 1 over 1. Root 2, I don't know, this is already a fraction. 4 over 1, yes. What about 5.639? 5.639. Can I express this as a fraction? Yes. So 7 over 1, 9 over 1. So the only thing is root 2. If I key in root 2 here, you can observe that this can never be converted into a fraction. Okay, so this is a irrational number. All right, so let's move on to question number 3. Okay, now this question says there are 3 people who are working for the same company, and then they are required to change their password, login passwords regularly for security purpose, right? And then they change the password every 8 days, 16 days, and 24 days. These kind of things, you should already know that this is a very typical question for LCM. Okay, because they change their passwords regularly. When will they, the keyword is, when will they change their password on the same day again? When you see these kind of, things, you should know that it is a LCM question. So go and do the LCM. You need to write down all of this. Okay, so I have a 8, and then you have a 16, and then a 24, right? So do the LCM. That means you keep finding the common numbers here, and then finish up the LCM. Once you do that, you should be able to find out what is the LCM. So LCM is, you must remember, it's all the way until you get 1, 1, 1. Right? And then this part here is what you need to multiply to get your LCM. So LCM is given by 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So 1, 2, 2 to the power of 4 times 3, which is 48. Okay, so after 48 days, basically, they will go and they will change their passwords together again. So 8, 16 and 24. The 48th day, they will change their passwords together on the same day again. Okay, the next one. Now, you know, LCM question is when will they do things again? Those kind of questions are LCM. HCF is I have things that are there and I want to distribute it out. Normally, those kinds of questions are HCF. So here you see 3 staff are tasked to pack gifts for a company event, and then they have so many notebooks, 90 staplers, and so many pens. Each gift pack has 1 notebook only, so many staplers, and so many pens. So now it's a question of how many are they, how many packs can they make will be given by the HCF. But how many staplers will be given out and how many pens will be given out per student, the one is you need to find out. Okay, so let's write out on how to find the HCF. So 45, 90, 225, and then you go ahead and you first find, you divide by all the common. HCF stands for highest common factor. So you only divide, remember HCF is you only divide until you get until you cannot divide them by a common number anymore. So now I cannot divide by any common number, so I can stop here. So this will give you my HCF. But that is not what they are asking. Okay, the HCF is 5 times 3 times 3, which is 45. This is my HCF. So I can make so many packets, okay, so many gift packs with this. But how many staplers are going to be there and how many pens are going to be there? 1 notebook is left. And then this number here will give you, I started with 90 staplers, right? This number here tells you how many staplers are going to be given out. And this number here will be, so this is your Y. Okay, so sorry, Y staplers, right? Yep, this is your Y staplers. And then Z pens. So we started with 225 pens. So we are going to give out 5 pens in each of the box. So the question is asking for Z minus Y, which is given by 5 minus 2, which is your 3. Okay, so these numbers here are basically the number of notebooks, the number of staplers, and the number of pens that you will give out. Okay, these are the total number of packs that you can make. A very typical HCF question you can write down here. It's a very typical HCF question. Okay, so let's move on to question number 4, which is basically factorize. Okay, the first thing that you need to do when we say factorize is check if there are any common factors that you can easily take out. Okay, so you must take out, in this case, I can rearrange first like a normal quadratic expression. So what I will do is I will move the 2x square minus 14x plus 24. We'll just move things around to get the x square, x and no x term. So I will take out the 2 as common. I get x square minus 7x plus 12. Now this one you can further factorize. You can use the cross method if you're familiar. Okay, so you need to use this is your cross method, right? You put the quadratic term, you put the number there, and then the mixed term here. So x times x will give you x square, and then you need to think, how will I get a positive 12? There's a negative sign here, so I'm going to think of a negative number times a negative number. So let me try negative 3 times negative 4. I will get negative 4x, negative 3x. Then this side is only for checking. Negative 3x plus negative 4x should give you a negative 7x. So these two will be your will be the linear expressions that you should get. X minus 3 times x minus 4. So this is how you factorize. Okay, so this is the answer. Now, if you had not taken out the 2 in the beginning, you would have later, once you finish this, it will become a bit more complicated here because you'll have a 2x square and bigger numbers here. But you can still take out at a later stage. But when a question says factorize completely, you must take out any common factors that are there. The easiest thing to do is at first if you can take it out. Okay, you can ensure that you get 1 mark at least here. Alright, the next one, 6 minus 54y square. Same thing, factorize. So look whether there are any common factor. Okay, factorize common factor, so you can remember that. So take out, I can see that 6 is common. So I will take out 6, I will get 1 minus 9y square. Now 1 minus 9y square, I can write it down as 1 square minus 3y square. Right? So this will be 1 plus 3y, 1 minus 3y. Or this one, you can once again use your cross method to try to do as well. Okay, you can put the negative 9y square to give you a plus 3y minus 3y. 1 will be just plus 1 and 1. You can try to do that as well. The best is use the a square minus b square formula. You should get this. 6, 1 plus 3y and then 1 minus 3y. Okay, so let's move on to question number 5. Okay, now this one says there's a line 2x minus 3y equals 1, and Sally mentions that point A, negative 2 comma 1 actually satisfies this equation. When we say satisfies this equation, what we mean is if I substitute this into this, it should satisfy the left side. The left side must become equal to the right side. So let's try and see. I'm going to sub negative 2 comma 1 into the line into L. So what I get will be 2, the LHS first. Okay, let's try 2 times negative 2 minus 3 times 1. I get negative 4 minus 3, right, which is negative 7. Now what is the RHS? The RHS is 1. Oh, but it's not equal to your RHS, correct? Therefore, I disagree with her. It does not satisfy the equation. The answer must be that you disagree with Sally. Okay, you should disagree with Sally because is not the same. When you substitute it, you do not get that the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. No. So you can disagree with her. Now find the gradient of this line L. Okay, so you have 2x minus 3y equals 1. You know that gradient is this one equation is given. You can't use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 because the points aren't given to you. So what you need to do is you need to rearrange the equation to look like y equals mx plus c. Right? If you rearrange the equation to look like y equals mx plus c, the m will be your gradient. So you need to rearrange it. So let's do that. I'm going to keep the negative 3y here and I'm going to bring the 1 minus 2x. So y equals, I'm going to bring the negative 3 over there. So 1 minus negative 2x over negative 3. Okay, which is going to give me y equals 2/3 x minus 1 over 3. So this one here in front of x will be my m. Y equal mx plus c. So when I compare it with y equals mx plus c, the number in front of my x will be my m. Okay, so the next one, question number 6. So remember gradient, you need either the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 if the coordinates are given. If coordinates are not given, compare against y equal mx plus c. Rearrange and then find out. Okay, next one is simple interest question. Okay, you must first know what is the formula for simple interest. The formula for simple interest is interest equals, you have to multiply everything, the principal, the rate, the time taken over 100. Okay, so it is I equals PRT over 100. Here, the interest is given to you, is it? So the Samuel borrowed 6,000. So this one is your principal and you don't know the rate. Do you know the time? Yes, 3 years. So you know the time as well. So you don't know the rate. But do I know the interest? They say that the total amount is 6327.60. So the amount is given to you as 6327.60 and the principal is given to you as 6,000. So you should know that interest is always the amount minus the principal. Okay, whatever the final amount that is there minus the principal. The extra amount, right, is always your interest. So 327.60 is your interest. So once you know interest, Okay, once you know the interest, what you can do is you can just sub here, which is 327.60 equals the principal. Principal is always the starting amount, the initial amount, times R, which I don't know. The time taken is 3 years over 100. So I need to cross multiply. Okay, bring the 100 over to the other side as multiply. Bring this to the denominator and bring this to the denominator. So rate equals 327.60 times 100. Divide by 6,000 times 3. Okay, you should get 1.82. Okay, percentage. All right, if you just want to calculate x, it'll just be 1.82. All right, next. This one is making subject of formula, changing the subject of formula. So y equals this. I need to make h the subject of formula. So let's move things around. Y equals. So I'm going to move the k over. Now I'm going to flip this entire thing so that what I want is on the right side. So I just flip it around. And then now I need to, now there's a square root here. So I know I need to square. When you have a square root, the operation that you need to do is square root is square. Right? So I'm going to square on both sides. So that will help me to get rid of the square root. So it just becomes 3h equals y plus k the whole square. Right? So when I square this, the square root goes away. When I square this, I have to have the square. So I only want the h. So I'm going to get equals y plus k the whole square over 3. Get rid of the 3 here. Bring it over to the other side. You have this. So when you make h the subject of formula, this is what you get. Okay? Okay. So let's move on to question number 8. Okay, question number 8 is this. I'm going to express as a simple fraction. Okay, one single fraction. This one is basically one fraction minus away another fraction. If you want to express as a single fraction, of course, the denominator needs to be the same. You need to take a common denominator. But for you to do common denominator, you first have to see what is there in these two denominators. I can observe here, I can actually take out 2 as common here. So let's do that. 4 over 3p minus 1 minus 1 over, if I take out 2 as common, I have 1 minus 3p here. Now I observe this one and this one. I see they're almost the same except that the signs are changed. There's a negative 1 here, there's a 1 here, there's a 3p here, there's a negative 3p here. So I need to make the signs the same. So to do that, I need to take out a negative sign from here. If I take out a negative sign, that becomes a plus here. So I change the signs inside while I change the signs outside as well. So 4 over 3p minus 1 plus 1 over 2 times 3p minus 1. This is exactly what you need to do. So you observe that this and this, okay, are very similar. So I need to change the sign here while I go and change this. All right, inside the bracket and outside the bracket, change signs. So now you can see there's only this fraction doesn't have a 2. It has the 3p minus 1, but it's lacking the 2. So you can go and add it in. You will get 8 over 2 times 3p minus 1 plus 1 over 2 times 3p minus 1. So it is a common denominator, which is the 2 times 3p minus 1. It's common, right? And then 8 plus 1 becomes 9. So I can write it down as 9 over 2 times 3p plus 3p minus 1. This is your answer. So 9 over 2 times 3p minus 1. So the important thing to note is you need to change the sign here and here. All right. So this is how you do this question. Okay, question number 9. Question number 9 says there is a polygon, there is a regular polygon that the teacher wants the student to draw, and then it's given that this angle is 20. You know, regular polygon, the key thing you need to know is regular polygon means all the interior angles will be the same. Also, another thing is all the sides are going to be equal. Correct? So if this is an incomplete regular polygon, you know that PQ will be the same as QR. So find one interior angle first. Okay, if this is 20, this will also be 20 base angles of an isosceles triangle, right? So angle PQR will be given by 180 minus 40, correct? Which is your 140. So I know one interior angle. If I know one interior angle, I know that all the interior angles are going to be the same. Okay, this is one interior angle. If I know one interior angle, the easiest way to go and find the number of sides that this polygon has is to go and find the exterior angle. Okay, one exterior angle is given by 180 minus the interior angle, which is 40 degrees. Okay, the formula to find out exterior angle is, one exterior angle, there is a formula, right? One exterior angle is always given by 360 over n. So you want to go and find n. So 40 equals 360 over n. So n equals 9 sides. Okay, so the easiest way is to do this is to go and find your exterior angle. Once you find the exterior angle, you can find the number of sides. So part A says find the number of sides that you wanted to draw, which is 9. Okay, I found by using one interior angle, then found the exterior angle, and then I found the number of sides. And then name this polygon. Okay, now it's a nanogon. Nanogon. Okay, now this is usually not asked, but you just have to know it. All right, next question number 10. Question number 10. Luke bought a model bike for $125 and then he sold it at a profit of 30%. Okay, to Adam. So first find out what did Adam buy it at. So if he sold this guy sold at 125, bought it at 125 and then he sold it at a profit of 30%. So if my 100% is 125, I need to go and find out what is 130% to know what is the price at which Adam bought it, right? So 1% is how much? It's going to be 125 over 100. Therefore 130% is 125 over 100 times 130, which is 162.50. So this is the price at which Adam bought it from Luke, because Luke sold it at a 30% profit. Profit means plus. So 100 plus 30. Correct? So Adam actually bought it at 162.50. Now Adam then sold it to Bren at 156. So what is the percentage loss for Adam? Right? So it is he bought it at 162.5, he sold it at 156. So percentage loss is always the difference over the original. So the difference is 162.50 minus 156 over the original price for Adam is this. Okay, times 100%, which is 4%. Okay. So percentage loss or percentage profit, everything, okay, it's given by percentage difference. It's always given by the difference over the original. All right. So first find Adam's buying price, cost, his price. And then he sold it further. So you must find the difference over the original. All right. So let's move on to question number 11. Okay. Question number 11 is that Kate bought an external hard drive with a capacity of 2 terabytes. 1 terabyte is given by this. So in the new syllabus, they actually give you what is the index here. So it should not be a problem. So they're asking you to leave it in standard form. So you can just leave it as 2 times 10 power 12, because 2 already is, there's only one digit here. So this will just be the answer. Okay, this is a standard form answer. All right, so many bytes. Next, 1 kilobyte is given by 10 to the power of 3 bytes. And then what is the maximum number of photos that Kate can actually store in her hard drive? So her hard drive seems to have this capacity, and then each of the picture is of this size. So therefore, number of photos that can be stored, right, will be given by the total capacity of the hard disk over 460, but this is kilobyte, so times 10 power 3. So if you do this, you will get this, because it's number of photos, got to round it down, so you get 4 3 4 7 8 2 6. Okay, so this is the answer. All right, next, this is simple linear equation. So how do you solve it? Just need to move around things a bit. So 2 minus 5y equals negative 13. So negative 5y equals negative 13 minus 2. Negative 5y equals negative 15. Y equals negative 15 divided by negative 5, which will give you 3. Okay, I think most of you should have gotten this right. Now this question here, you need to first observe. I have p cube, p cube, p cube. So all of this are the same thing, right? So it's like x, x, x. So you can go and add up all the coefficients. So if I do that, if I actually do half minus 3 over 5 plus 4, I will actually get 3 9 over 10 p cube equals 1, which is just simplifying this by adding it like this: 1 over 2 minus 3 over 5, right, plus 4. So if I do this, I get this 3 9 over 10. So what is p cube then? P cube will be 1 divided by this answer. 1 divided by answer, I get this. Correct? This is p cube. So if p cube is this, if I can write it down like this, I will. Okay, 10 over 39. This is p cube. Then what is p? P must be the cube root of this. So cube root of answer will give me this. That's all. So I can write down 3SF answer 0.635. 3SF. Okay. 0.635. So remember, you have to get p cube first. P cube 1 over this. Okay, then if you want to find, p cube already, you need to find p. So you need to take the cube root of this. When you take the cube root of this, you get 0.635. Okay, so question 13 and 14 will be the last for this video. So let's quickly try to finish it off. Question 13 is basically a ratio question. Now you should know that ratio can be expressed as a fraction in order to solve this question. So okay, if you have 1 over 8 is to this, you can actually write it as 1 over 8 over 3 equals 0.4 over 5x. So you should know that the ratio can be expressed as a fraction. Now I can actually cross multiply. So if I take the 5x over to this side, fraction equals to a fraction, right? So if I cross multiply, taking the denominators over to the other side, what I have is I can have 5x over 8 equals 0.4 times 0.4 times 3 will give me 1.2. Okay, so which means from here I can continue and solve it. 5x equals 1.2 times 8. So x equals 1.2 times 8 over 5, which is 1.92. All right. So this is how you do it. You try to cross multiply first. First express it as a fraction. 1 over 8 entire thing over 3 equals 0.4 over 5x. Cross multiply it. So the 5x go over here. So it will become 5x over 8. The 3 goes over to the other side, right? Becomes 1.2 over 1. I'm not writing the 1 here. So just simple cross multiply. And then after that, just once again, same thing over here. Cross multiply again. Okay, so 5x equals 8 times 1.2 and so on. Okay, next one. $72 is being divided in the ratio of m is to n. So can you go and find out, write down an expression in terms of m and n for the larger amount. Okay, the larger amount is going to be for m because they say m is greater than n, right? So m plus n units is $72, correct? So 1 unit, first find out, is going to be given by 72 over m plus n. So I want for m units, which is going to be 72 over m plus n times m. So it is 72m over m plus n. That's it. Okay, the key here is you should know that we are referring to the larger amount refers to the larger unit is m, because m is greater than n. All right, next one. The question says find RQS. Very easy. These are parallel lines and this forms a Z shape. If you can see this, it forms a Z shape. So Z shape is for alternate angles. So you have RQS is also going to be 38 degrees because I know that they are alternate angles, because RQS, you can write down more detail, RQS is equal to QST, angle QST, alternate angles between parallel lines. Okay, the parallel lines are RQ and ST. All right, next one. Reflex angle SQP. Reflex angle is the bigger angle here on the other side. For that, I first need to go and find what is PQR. So first find what is PQR. PQR is going to be, I can see a C shape here. Isn't it? You can see a C shape here. C shape stands for corresponding angles. So PQR is always equal to 180 minus 97, which will give me 83. Now don't forget to give the reason, interior angles between parallel lines. Okay, so you know that this is 83. So of course, what is the reflex of PQS or SQP as asked? 360 minus away 38 minus away your 83, which will give you 239. All right. So this was your first part. I hope you have understood these questions. So please look up and do your corrections as required. Thank you.